Good afternoon, and welcome to the Gator Wesley Bio. Today on the show, we have Megan. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, no problem. So let's go ahead and get started by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Megan Clorty, and I'm about to start my 4th year at UF as a journalism student. And yeah, I've been coming to Gator Wesley a bit on and off since my freshman year, but now I am totally, definitely here to stay and happy to be here.
So where are you from?
I was born in Massachusetts, and I lived there until I was 13, and then I moved to Fruit Cove, which is kind of a suburbs area outside of Jacksonville, and finished up middle school and high school there, and then came right to Gainesville.
How was your childhood bringing up?
It was pretty good. I enjoyed my childhood. I was really bookish, and people might have made fun of me, but if they did, I was really oblivious. So, I don't have any traumatic bully experiences from my childhood. I spent a lot of time sitting inside and reading, and I have a younger brother, Ryan, who was the sporty one, so he was always running around being crazy. We didn't get along for a long time. I really liked being up in Massachusetts, and we got to move basically right before I would have been old enough to start, doing the backbreaking shoveling work, so I got to enjoy snow while I was up there without learning to hate it like everyone else does who lives there longer.
So can you tell us about your relationship with your mother and father that you have?
Well, I love my mom and dad. They're both pretty great. I think they raised me well. They instilled in me a good sense of sarcasm and goofiness. Our family isn't very good at choosing choosing movies to watch together or anything, or going on long trips, but we do like to hang out together and sit down and watch Jim Gaffigan or someone on Netflix, and my mom and I like to go thrift store shopping together and stuff like that, yeah.
So you mentioned that you have a brother, correct?
Yes, a younger brother, Ryan. This is about to be his last year of high school. He's probably just going to be applying to schools in Florida, maybe UF, maybe UCF. And we didn't get along very well when we were younger. I used to try to hide in my room, and he'd be running around like a lunatic. And now he's calmed down a lot, and he likes to... Basically, the way that we communicate is when he sends me funny text messages or silly memes on Facebook. We have kind of the same sense of humor now, so we get along.
And you mentioned that you moved down from Massachusetts, correct?
Yes, indeed.
And how was that transition from moving down from Massachusetts to Florida?
I didn't really like the transition, but I'm happy now that we had that transition for my dad's job and everything. Up in Massachusetts, we were going to a Catholic church because that's how both my parents were raised. And once we came down here, I finished up CCD, but then I ended up having one of my best friends take me to a non-denominational church, which I got much more involved in. And that helped me pay a lot more attention to God, and I just feel like Catholicism is not the best fit for me when it comes to worshiping God, so it was good to learn about different ways to do that.
How would you describe your education as in your early childhood moving from Massachusetts to Florida, and how did you transition between early education and middle school and then high school?
It was pretty basic. What's funny is that my younger brother never went to the same schools as me. We always got put in a different district or something right when it was his time, so my mom and dad met a lot of different teachers, no repeats, but I enjoyed elementary school. My middle school was all right, and I would have gone to the high school in 8th grade, but then that's right when I moved down to Florida, and so I had an extra year of middle school, which wasn't particularly exciting. Then normal high school, all public school. I was happy with public school, and wouldn't have changed it.
So what kind of activities and events did you participate in when you were in high school?
I didn't really participate much in middle school. Once I moved to Florida, I got to avoid basically all gym classes by being a band geek, and I played the flute, and I enjoyed marching band and concert season kind of band. I dropped that when I came to college because I wasn't sure if that was something that I wanted to pursue. I knew that I wouldn't as a career, and I wasn't sure if it was worth the time. Sometimes I regret not continuing that, but for the most part, I'm okay with it.
And you said you decided to go to University of Florida, correct?
Yep.
And in what drew you specifically to choose University of Florida over the many different universities in the state of Florida?
Well, it's actually the only one. Well, no. I guess I visited UCF as well. UF is the only one that I took a tour of. And I really like big trees. And I really like brick buildings. And it was kind of, no offense to the other ones, but UF's kind of my favorite and one of the best ones in the state. So once I found out that I got in, it seemed like it was a good distance from home and a good school, and here I am.
When you decided to go to University of Florida, what degree program did you decide to choose?
I decided to go for journalism. Originally, I was considering doing an English major because after all of that reading, I took some writing courses in high school and stuff, and everyone was like, oh, you read a lot, you'll be a good writer. That's what you should do. And so I thought that might be a good idea, except for no offense to Kelia or any other English majors, but I realized that generally if you're doing that, you will end up being a teacher, which I wasn't interested in, or you could end up like pursuing your own kind of writing career, and I didn't really want that because I need more deadlines and things to actually get any work done. So that's why I decided to do journalism, because I really love magazines, and I figured that if I started working for a magazine, then I would be in an actual working environment and have lots of deadlines set for me, and I need some direction from other people to actually do work.
And with this degree in journalism, what do you hope to do?
I was originally planning on working for magazines. I'm not sure if I'm more interested in writing or photography, but I'm actually leaning more towards photography now that I have an internship with one of my photo professors.
And you just mentioned you have an internship with your photo professor. What exactly are you doing with that, and how's that progressing you in your degree?
Well, a lot of it is actually helping him with some work. He has a position as the executive director of the Florida Outdoor Writers Association. So I've been helping him with like directory work and secretary type stuff, but he also teaches me more about photography and lets me use the fancy stuff on his computers and lets me borrow some lights and everything. So it's good to have someone giving you direction and reminding you that you should keep taking photos even though you don't have a class, and keep planning projects for yourself.
And you also did mention that you got involved with the Gator Wesley Foundation as well, correct?
Indeed.
So when did you start getting involved, and how have you been involved with Gator Wesley?
Well, like I said, I was kind of coming on and off freshman year, and then halfway through, I guess it was junior year. Halfway through sophomore year, I started working for the communications team, which was created when I started, and we do a bit of sending out messages on the group and sending out little status updates and stuff like that, and I work on the podcast with Dan, and I worked with David when he was here, and now Narcy will be working on the podcast as well, obviously, because we need to have someone there to say what she thought about her own sermon. So yeah.
And a lot of our viewers know that you are known as the Gator Wesley photographer, correct?
I mean, a few of us at Gator Wesley share that title, I think. Shannon's also a big photographer, and she also posts photos online more often than I do. But I'm definitely one of the people around here. And
we have seen in your work that you've done with a few of our members that you've done some photo shoots with them. Can you dwell on that a little bit, and what came up with that idea? How did you come up with that idea?
I just like to take photos of people. I like to go to fields or around town or something, and then I like fashion photography and I like portrait photography, so I have a lot of cool friends around here who are willing to pose, and they have lots of pretty clothes, and so we just hang out for a while, and I take pictures of them, and that's that.
Cool, and you do a very good job.
Thank you very much.
And we're getting to the end of our show today, and we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks.
And with the last few moments, is there anything that you would like to tell people that they don't know or they should know about you?
If you need any help at Gator Wesley, feel free to ask me, because I do have free time. But then if I forget or procrastinate or something, feel free to remind me repeatedly that you needed help with something, because I really do have good intentions, but then I'll just get very distracted. So there's that.
We want to thank you for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
And this has been the Gator Wesley Bios, produced by James Jordan and produced on location at the Gator Wesley Foundation, which is a campus ministry of the United Methodist Church that services the University of Florida and Santa Fe College. Tune in next time when we have more stories, more people, and more Gator Wesley Bios. Thank you, and